Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Ashcraft. If you are new here, you can find me on Instagram at that same name, which I will have linked and spelled down below in the description box. This is my Flosstube channel where I talk about all things cross stitch and anything else I feel like. This is episode 42. Today is September 9th for a few more hours. I am filming at night, so I don't have coffee, I just have water, but I did just eat a cookie. I am full baking mode now. Fall is the start of my baking season, which, I mean, I bake throughout the year, but like I go hardcore when like September hits, and I bake all the pumpkin things, all kinds of cookies, all kinds of just deliciousness. So today was batch one, and I made oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, which are one of my favorite cookies. So I have to pace myself because they're not all for me, and I will eat them all. So I have a little bit to talk about. This week I posted my entry to be a Flosstube rep for the Black Needle Society. So if you haven't already watched that video, go check it out. What else did I do? Oh, I also decided I'm gonna go back to weekly videos, even if it means filming at night, which I don't particularly enjoy. I do prefer filming during the day, but I prefer weekly videos. I feel like when I wait 2 weeks, I just have too much to talk about, and then I have like a 45 to hour long video, and I know some people really like long videos, but me personally, for my videos, I like slightly shorter, like 20 to 30 minute videos. So there's that. I have two finishes. I'm so excited. And I have a whip, and just a little bit of haul. So my first finish is Welcome Autumn by Primrose Cottage Designs. Most of these are the called for colors. I did use a couple colors that weren't called for, but I just stitched from stash. This is a 25 count Lugana by Lori Holt, and so this is really not that big. Like, here's a piece of 8.5 by 11 folded in half. It's actually a stash bingo card that I didn't use. But, I mean, it's not big at all. So, if I had stitched this on, I think the called for was like 28 or 32, this would have been really small. So, I love how this looks, and I am going to rummage through my stash of finishing items, if you will, and decide how I want to finish it. I did have to, where did I mess up? Oh gosh. Okay, so I was in the middle of stitching Welcome, and I started here. So I did the light brown on the bottom border, and then I did all of these pumpkins and the sunflower. Then I did Autumn, then I did these pumpkins, the sunflower and the bee, and then I did Welcome, then I did the acorns, and then I finished the border. So when I started on Welcome, because of the spacing where I needed to go, I started with E and I worked backwards. I got to just where I was just about to start on the W, and I was looking at it, and my W was not lining up. Like, it was way over here, and I'm like, why is this so weird? And I realized I had forgot the C. I had gone from O to L, and I was like, are you kidding me? And I texted Courtney Lancaster, stitches please, and I texted her a picture and was like, can you spot the error? And she just went, oh no, you forgot the C. And she was mortified with me. So I had to frog all of it. And I was really sad because I was so close to finishing. Had I not had that error that I had to frog everything, I would have finished like that night that I was working on it. But I did. I worked on this like over the weekend during the day, which I don't normally stitch during the day on the weekends because the kids are usually up and at 'em. But because my husband was home, I was stitching any free minute I could because I really wanted to get this done. And then Monday, I was like really stitching all day. And so I was thinking, okay, I am going to finish by dinner time. But because I had to frog all that, I ended up finishing like super late at night, which was fine. But I was like, no. I was so annoyed. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. This is so cute. This is so cute. It's such a quick stitch. It took me less than a week to stitch. I think it was, and it was, a couple hours a day, except for the couple days on the weekend where I was stitching a lot. But I mean, if you are somebody who has more stitching time than I do, this would be a really quick stitch for you. So my next finish, I think this might be a surprise to a lot of people, unless you saw my sneak peek on my Instagram stories. I finished one of my oldest whips, not the oldest whip, because the oldest whip is Farmhouse Christmas. But I think this is the second or third oldest whip. I started it on October 24th, 2020, and I finished it September 7th, 2021. The Paul Hollywood project. Yes, I did it. Okay, so for those of you who have not been around long enough to have been graced by the presence of the Paul Hollywood project, this is the Sugar is Sweet sampler by the Frosted Pumpkins. It is very pink. My best friend lives in Ohio, and when I got back into cross stitching last year, she said, or she was on Pinterest and she found a quote that said, "You deserve a Paul Hollywood handshake." And she said, "Can you stitch this for me for my kitchen?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And so I was like, "Do you just want that quote, or do you want like a whole thing?" And she was like, "I mean, if you have time to do a whole thing, that'd be cool." And I said, "Yeah, you're my best friend. I'll do anything for you." So I sent her a bunch of different Frosted Pumpkins patterns and then a couple other random ones that were like dessert or cooking related. And I told her when I sent this one, I was like, "I know this is super pink, but I would totally change the colors on this." And she said, "I like this one best, and I would love a color change because it is really bright." And she wears pink and has pink, but like her favorite color is teal and and she loves different shades of blue and green. So I used her favorite color teal as a starting point, which there is a floss that is that color. So I used that as my starting point and then created the palette around that. Somebody commented a few weeks ago asking for the colors that I use, and I hadn't responded to that comment yet because I didn't think I had written them all down and I had already put them back in my stash. But when I looked in my little notebook where I keep everything, it does have them written down. So if you want all the flosses that I used for the Paul Hollywood project, send me a message on Instagram and I will send them to you. So all of that being said, the idea for this was changing the color scheme and then replacing the alphabet with that quote. I got a lot done, and then during March Madness, I finished all of the desserts. I finished everything except the quote. And I was waiting for my best friend to design the quote because she's a graphic designer. And so I really wanted the quote to be in a typeface that she wanted. Well, she never did that. So I took it upon myself to figure it out. And I know I'm saying a lot before actually showing you, but I have to give you the context before you see it. So she designed her own wedding invitations, wedding programs, like all the paper goods that you would use at a wedding, she designed for herself, and including she created her own typeface for it. It's a whimsy kind of calligraphy style typeface that she created. And so I had her send me a picture of her samples the other night when I pulled this out and decided I was going to try to finish it. And I was trying to design something, I have grid paper, and I was trying to design something. And I was like, this just isn't working. So I looked up how to do embroidery. And then I thought, I can't do this because this is on Ada, because this was before I tried doing linen. And so I said, okay, I'm going to try to freehand this. So I used 3 strands of floss, and I just backstitched this freehand. I did use a pencil and kind of lightly put, where I wanted each word to go, but I freehanded it. And at first I was like, oh gosh, what did I do? Because I don't know if this is going to turn out. And I think that there is one part of it that looks a little funky, but one, I don't want to redo it and mess it up completely. And 2, I think it's as good as it's going to get. So, I'm really selling this, guys. So, did I spell every word right? I did. Okay. Whew. Had a momentary, don't know about that. Are you ready to see it? Dun da da da! Oh my gosh. It is done. You, my friend, you deserve a Paul Hollywood handshake. So yeah, I freehanded that. I started with Paul Hollywood, and I did that, and then I did the top row and the bottom row. And I kind of write this way, normally. So I had my paper sitting next to me, and that's why it's like you start and you do all the L's, okay? The L's are not the same, because when you go from the O to the L, you're really going in the middle of the L, and then you go down and do the rest of the L on the second one. So I really tried to do this as if I was writing it, and following the lines with the back stitching. So you'll see, in the Y, that goes over the part that goes down, because that's how you would do it. So yeah, our original plan for finishing this, those tart pans people do finishing in? We both really like that kind of finish, but I don't know where to get those. Both my kids are asleep and my husband's at work, and I have Jackson on the monitor, and he just moved, and I was like, So I don't know where to get those tart pans. If you know what I'm talking about, they're like a brownish color, brown or black. They're like a tin material. Most of the ones I've seen are kind of small. Obviously this would need to be bigger. This is like, you know, the size of my hand, but I don't know where to. There's a spider on the ground. I'm gonna have to go find that when I'm done. Yay. But I have no idea where to find those. So if you have any suggestions on where to find those, let me know. I don't know if I should, ask Abby. Did you hear that? Okay. I don't know if I should go. I'm like really creeped out right now. I don't know if I should go ask Abby Topknot to try to help me source it, or somebody, like if somebody at like a 1 2 3 stitch or a Stitches and Things. I don't know where to find something like that. So it's done, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, so then my whip and my haul are basically the same thing. Somebody has to be out there, I swear. Please tell me I am not the only one hearing that. Okay, so my haul for this week, I mentioned last week that I ordered the Primrose Cottage Designs Sip and Stitch Halloween box. So it came with a cup, a pattern, and the floss. So I got that. They did really fast shipping. I think I got it quickly partly because they're in Utah and I'm in California, so it really didn't have to travel that far. But this is the cup. This is super cute. It says Salem Stitching Co. Primrose Cottage Stitches. Super cute. It's just blank, but it's like that Yeti style, you know, where it's gonna keep my drink cold for a long time. It's not dirty. Those are just, I guess, water that didn't dry completely. Anyways, so this was the cup. This is the pattern. It says Happy Halloween. Super, super cute. And then the floss that it came with, it's 3 colors. Weeks, Persimmon, Parchment, and Onyx. Now, I stopped buying Weeks Dye Works, so I didn't want to buy this box because of that. But because I was new to Primrose Cottage, I didn't think that this pattern was going to be available separately. I thought it was going to be something you could only get in the box. Since getting this, that is not the case. They now sell this separately in their Etsy shop. So I think for future boxes, okay, a couple things for future boxes. One, this was $39.99, I think it was, which included shipping. I don't know if that was really worth it, because when you add up the price of everything, it's like a few bucks shy of $40. So I don't know if the pricing wise really worth it. But next time they do one of these, I think I would wait to see what the pattern is and what the floss is, because I think they said in the Etsy listing that it came with the Weeks Dye Works. So I think I would wait and see, what the floss is being used for the next one, and then decide whether I want to purchase it or not. Also, knowing that they come out with them after, and like pretty shortly after, I think would also kind of make me hesitate to buy one of these again. I mean, I guess the perk is that you get the two together, and then, you get the floss so that you don't have to go out and buy floss. But, I mean, these colors, it's black, white, and orange. So you could easily stitch this from stash. And it doesn't come with fabric. So, I don't know. I feel like to really make it worth it, I would have included fabric with it. But that's just me. So, I started on this last night. And I did decide I would just, well, I bought it, might as well use it. So I just have a little baby start. And so it's just haul. I'm using the same fabric as the Welcome Autumn. This is the 25 count Lugana by Lori Holt. It's not light. It's like I think she calls it tan or something like that. But it's just like a neutral tan color. So it's gonna be much bigger on 25 count, obviously. But I think on, what would I have done this on? I would have done it on like a 32 count. It would have been 5 1/8 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So, I mean, not huge, but not tiny. And I think this color fabric is actually pretty close to what they used for the model. They say wheat Lugana, but they don't say by who. Anyways, this is a super, super cute pattern. And Courtney got one too. So we're going to do a Sal. No idea. I'm sure there's a hashtag for this. I think it's like sip and stitch or something like that. So that's fun. So yeah, I'm going to work on this tonight when I'm done. And I think this will probably stitch up pretty quickly, especially since there's not a lot of color changes. So that is everything. I don't have like any fall Rae Dunn stuff, but I did snag this week. It just happened to be sitting all by its lonesome self on an end cap, and it's one of the ones that comes with the coaster. So it's gonna go in my tier tray. And then last week I had a giveaway. So I was giving away the Wise Wisdom, the owls, the cute little owls. And this was cute because the winner, her comment was super cute. So the winner is, I'm gonna butcher this, Brijin, Brijin, Hartrick, Hartrick. But her comment was super cute. She really likes my Lady Justice, but she said, which I agree, one of her favorite Greek goddesses is Athena, so she really likes owls because of that, which I have to agree with. I love Greek mythology. When I really got into it, when I read the Percy Jackson series a long time ago, even as an adult, those books are great. So I almost bought the entire collection of the Silks for You? The Stitchy Box Silks, Flower Silks? Oh gosh. It's Stitchy Box, but her silks, and she did a Greek god and goddess collection. All the colors are inspired by and named after Greek gods and goddesses. this close to buying that entire collection simply because of the name, but I didn't. So, Brigitte, I really hope I'm saying your name right. Congratulations. I do not have a giveaway this week, and the reason for that is because next week is my 1-year anniversary of being on Flosstube. So I'm gonna try to put together kind of like a bigger giveaway. So that's everything. I'm so happy I finished this. Oh man. Ever since I saw that spider on the floor, I feel like there are things crawling all over me. But look, I mean, guys, I was thinking about it and I was looking through my book. Before these finishes, I hadn't had a finish in a long time. Like, when was the last finish? July 13th, the day before my birthday. That was the last finish I had, and before that it was June. I feel like I'm really slowing down on my finishes. Something I was going to talk about last week and completely forgot to talk about. So, I have a lot of whips, more whips than I'd really like to have. So I want to work on finishing them, and I really want that to be a goal of mine in 2020. I thought about doing like no new starts or a no buy or I don't know, something drastic, but I don't think I could stick to it. I don't think I have the willpower to stick to that. I cannot stop myself from eating carbs. I cannot stop myself from drinking Pepsi. I cannot stop myself from new starts and buying more stitchy things. So I don't know what I want to do, but I want to figure out a plan of some kind to work through the whip pile that I have. So I don't know if it's and the reason I feel like it's a problem for me is because most of my whips are huge projects. They're not small. Like I have one of the Autumn Lane Stitcheries, the Leprechaun, that's kind of small, but for the most part, those whips are big and they will take a lot of time to finish. So I don't know if doing like a 25/7 is something that is doable for me because of the amount of time I have in a day to stitch. But I thought, well, maybe a no new start thing might be the way to go, or maybe no new starts for, I think Julie did like no new starts for 90 days or something like that. That sounds familiar. I think Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, she did like no new starts for 30 days. Michelle did no new starts for, I think, an entire year a couple years ago. So I don't know. So if you have any suggestions that are different than the obvious no new starts or stitch from stash or a no buy, let me know, because I'm curious what other people do. Or 25/7, because I know that's an option. I need to start stitching on my lunch breaks again. But I finish eating and then I just sit there on my phone and we watch a show, and right now we're watching Heartland. So yeah. So I'm curious, like, what would you do if you were trying to work through your whip pile? What would you do, and which plan do you think would be most successful? I'm curious. So with that, I'm going to do a couple things tonight. 1, I'm going to go find that spider. 2, I'm going to look out the peephole to find out who is making those noises out there and scaring the crap out of me. 3, probably going to eat another cookie. And then I got to pack up the rest of the cookies for all the people I'm giving them to. And then once I do all of that, I will watch Gilmore Girls and stitch. So I hope you have a good rest of your day. I was going to say a good rest of your evening, but chances are you're not watching this at 9:40 at night. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.